In our videos, we usually talk about microfocus, minifocus, and nanofocus X-ray sources. So today we're going to find out exactly what they are, how they're built, and when we use them. One of the critical features, the critical parameters of an X-ray source is the spot size. And that's where we get the minifocus, microfocus, or nanofocus X-ray sources. It's all about the size of the focus spot on the target of the X-ray source. That's what's going to define if it's a nanofocus, microfocus, or minifocus. So a microfocus is going to be in the few microns spot size. Nanofocus, we refer to everything that's less than 1 micron spot size. And then a minifocus, depending on the vendor, depending on who you talk to, the number is going to be different. But we're going to be looking between 35 to 50, and above that, you're going to be considered a mini focus. So what does it mean? As I said before, it has to do with the size of the target or the spot size. And by the way, for more details, you can look at our book, page 11. That's where we covered this in our X-ray inspection book. And we're going to have a link down in the comments for you to download it, your copy. And if you haven't, you have to do it right now. So the whole idea is that, this is our X-ray source. You have a filament that's going to go through, we're going to inject a current in the filament. We're going to warm it up, create some free electrons. Those free electrons are going to be accelerated by the thousands of volts that we're going to put between the cathode and the anode. Those free electrons are going to rush towards the target, hit the target, and due to the Brainstorm radiation, create X-ray photons that are going to be ejected out of the X-ray source into the air and then going through your sample and hitting the sensor, and without that creating the X-ray image that we talk about every day here in this channel. So the whole idea that defines a microfocus, a nanofocus, or a minifocus X-ray source has to do with the size of that target right there. The larger the target, the more we're going to have these tracks, right? Imagine X-rays are created once the electron beam hits the target. The bigger this target, the more of those lines are going to be crossing each other. And the more they cross each other, the fuzzier the image is going to get, because that right edge on your sample is now going to be represented by X-ray photon trajectories that are going to be crossing each other. The smaller this target is, the tinier it is, the sharper and the more the separation is going to be much clearer between those trajectories of the X-ray photons leaving the target, thus creating a really, really sharp image. So a nanofocus X-ray source has a target that's less than 1 micrometer. That's meters, right? Not in inches. Microfocus has typically 5 microns or 8 micrometers in that target. And as I said, a minifocus is going to be in the 35, 50, or even millimeters of that area, right? So as you probably know, the smaller the target, the more expensive the X-ray source gets. And that's because it's really hard to focus and get in this really tiny area on the target. And more importantly, as that area warms up, that target's going to grow and the resolution of the source is going to decrease. So there's a lot of technology, a lot of work that's done to keep that target small and crisp to get us the beautiful image that we see every day. So I hope this video was useful. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. And don't forget to subscribe.